Welcome along, and we continue the video with another army in the army list analysis series. And today it is the Ptolemaic 166 list. Let's have a look at this list. It's a pike army. As you can see, we've got 8 pike units, and we've got 1 veteran pike. So the veteran pike, as I've mentioned in other videos, are excellent troops. They do cost a lot, they're 96, but probably if I have the choice, I'd take 1 at least. And in some of the other videos, the way the points have worked out, I've taken 2, but generally I try and use my points elsewhere. But 1 is definitely a worthwhile purchase. Pikes are sturdy units. Even though they're average quality, they will do a job. So as kind of the backbone to this army, they're a good addition. You've also got 1 superior warband. They're some of the best units in the game. It's a pity you've only got access to 1, but I definitely take it. 75. It's only 3 more than your pike unit, and it's better than the pike unit almost in all cases, because it's got impact and it's also got superior quality once in the melee. So it's going to pass cohesion checks more than the pikes. Imitation legionnaires, they're quite good. In some of these pike armies, there's a bit of a drop from pikes down to, you go straight down to medium foot. So it's nice to have some kind of what I call mid-tier infantry. So at 51, imitation legionnaires, they're heavy foot, they're impact, they've got some armor. They're pretty decent for the price. They're pretty decent. So that's a nice addition to this army. Then you've got your standard kind of medium infantry. The way the points have worked out, I've taken 2 of these armored defensive spearmen. I'm not generally, and with a lot of units, I don't pay extra for armor. I think most of the time quality is more important because it affects more variables in the game, like melee, cohesion checks, and so on, whereas armor is really, it doesn't give you such an advantage. It's about a plus 25 over your regular offensive spearman, protected offensive spearman. So for 9 more, from 42 to 51, that's quite expensive, but you know, plus 25 maybe is not to be sniffed at. And offensive spearmen are generally pretty good units, and as they're medium foot, they can go, they're very versatile. They can go anywhere, rough ground, open ground. They can do a fairly decent job. So fairly good units. Then we've got your standard medium foot. One weakness in this army is we only have 17 units, which is really not so much. As I've been doing this video series, a lot of my armies have had about 21 units at 1600 points, which is what we use in the league at the moment in the classical period. So 17, you're struggling a little bit. And in fact, really, in my opinion, the strength of this list is the cavalry. You've got access to 4 of the superior quality lancers, and I think the way it all works out, I think that you've probably got to use your cavalry to win the game, because if you spend money on infantry, I've maxed out more or less on all the better units, and then you've just got these raw quality pike units. Maybe some of you have used these units. I've seen players maybe sometimes put generals in these units that makes them last a bit longer, but still, because their quality is so poor, they're just not going to last that long. In games I've played, you get a lot of double drops, a lot of fragmentations fairly early on. So I generally I wouldn't really use. I might use one, but that's another reason why I've just gone for the spent the extra 3 on these offensive spearmen. And again, you've just got the militia, so choice is a little bit limited. You can go this way if you want, but I think you better just to have around 17 infantry units and then take your lancers. These are some of the best cavalry in the game. You've got 4, and it's also nice that you've got access to the cheaper end cavalry. So you've got the noble cavalry, which is also superior quality at 44, which is an absolute bargain. I think that's one of the most cost-effective units in the game, and then even the armored cavalry I've seen hold against better units for quite a while. So when you've got 2 of the cheaper end cav backing up your lancers against a lot of the classical period armies, you're going to have better cavalry, which could be really important. And actually, I've forgotten about my camels. So you've even got camels. So yeah, this is how I would suggest setting up. Go a bit heavy on with your cav. Fairly decent infantry, and then I think that probably gives you a better chance of winning. Probably also I'd play quite defensive, because I probably won't have as many units as the enemy. I've got hardly any superior quality units, just got my veteran pikes and the superior warband. Everything else is average or worse. Skirmish is not too bad. I've got 6. I'm happy with that. This is a really crazy map. Which, if I was on this kind of map, would I? It's going to be hard to use your cavalry, so that's a problem. If you're on open plains, then I would take this kind of setup. But looking at this map, I would actually probably take out at least 1 lancer, 64, and then I take 2 of these, because these are medium foot, which will help, because this is all rough ground here. And what else can we do? That's we've maxed on the medium foot. You've got artillery, might be useful. I'd consider it. I could maybe take out an armored cavalry unit, and add heavy art, because this sort of map isn't going to be about maneuvering. It's going to be just a huge slog. I might even just sort of set my army up here. I wouldn't even maybe go up onto the rough ground. It depends. Who I was playing. Because I have actually got quite a lot of medium infantry here, so I've got a fair bit. So if I was going to go for this, maybe what I would do, I'd put my pikes more over here. This is actually where, even though I was saying how expensive those armoured medium foot units are, this is maybe where they would come in handy, because any little advantage could be really helpful, could help you break a line, break units. And so, and then maybe I'd have some medium foot over here as well with it. So different ways you can play it. There is some flexibility. What would I give this list? What rating? It's probably maybe about a B minus, maybe a B minus. I'm going to actually, in the next week or two, I will play with this army, and I will post up on YouTube. We'll see how it goes, but I think it's quite difficult to use. As an example, with this map, you know, I've got my cavalry advantage, and then it's useless on this kind of map. So you're going to be struggling, although you've got a fair bit of medium foot. That gives you a fighting chance. But I've got hardly any superior quality units. So against Romans, Carthaginians with a veteran spear, you know, even some of the other kind of pike armies, Seleucids, they've got those Roman troops, superior quality. They've got veteran pikes. They've got access to 2. The Macedonian list, the 320 list, has access to 2 veteran pikes. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Some of the other armies, the warband armies, Galatian list, they've got around, you know, you could field 8 to 10 superior warbands. So that's 8 to 10 superior quality infantry units up against you. That's going to be really, really tough. One interesting thing, though, when I looked at the records, when you look at the records up to season 11 of the Digital League, this army came out, when I worked out the percentages, 57% win rate. So as I've mentioned before, a lot of the armies around evens, a little bit above 50%, quite a few actually below. So that is actually excellent. 57% win rate. It, you know, people haven't taken this army out quite as much as Carthaginians and Romans and so on, but you've still got over or almost actually 100 games played. I think it's actually 99. So you've got 99 games played in the league with this army, and you've got 57% win rate. As an example, with the Roman 199 list, it's 50% win rate. With the Roman 105 list, 50% win rate. 50%. So it's worse than this. And okay, with the Roman list, you've got around 300 games for both of them. So there's been more games played, but still, you know, you've had around 100 games played with this list, and it's 57% win rate. So that's very good. Carthaginians, around 200 games played, and the 216 Hannibal in Italy list, which is a great list, 55% win rate. So it's actually worse than this list. And the Macedonian 320 BC list, which a lot of players like, I really like that list. It's about 160 games played and 41% win rate. 41. So this list has 57% win rate. So somehow players are winning with this army. So it is possible, and it's probably by using cavalry and being a bit sneaky and using all kind of rough ground that you can, and then just holding a line with your pikes. Okay, so it's a B minus, but we'll see. We might play with it, and it might go it might go up a little bit in my estimation. But at the moment, I think a B minus is about justified. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and those of you who are playing in the new season of the league, good luck to you, and leave your comments below.